Hello student, in this video I am going to discuss about how to draw class diagram and what are the concepts associated with class diagram. So here you can see a class. A class is a description of a set of objects that share the same attributes, operations, relationships and semantics. You can also understand these things, this definition from the object oriented programming. You can find the same definition there also, because that is, this class diagram is nothing but we draw this diagram when we are working in an object oriented environment, and class is just the description of a set of objects that shares the same attributes, operations, relationships and semantics. Graphically here you can see a class is rendered or comprised as a rectangle in the diagram, usually includes its name, class name, its attributes, what are the attributes is used in that class, and operations in separate designated compartments. So like this, the class name, attributes and operations are included in the class diagram, and it has different compartments for these separate entries. So the name of the class is the only required tag in the graphical representations of a class. It always appears in the topmost compartment. Then in place, suppose your class name is person, then the attribute of the person need to be included in the second compartment. An attribute is a name property. It's a name property. Class is also a type of name property. Name property of a class that describes the objects being module. Whatever the objects are there in case of any class, suppose person is the class name, then any people might be the object of that class. So the name of the people and or name of one person, address of that person, birth date of that person, or any SSN serial numbers or something like that, any ID number can be the attribute of that person. So that those attributes should be included in the second compartment, just below the name compartment. So here you can see name is the name of the attribute, and whatever variable that will be in case of name is alphabetical type, and address that might be mixed with alphabets and numerics also. Birth date, that might be numerics or a specific type of data type, that is date, or SSN, or that might be numeric only. So in that way you need to mention these things. Again, attributes are usually listed in the form attribute name and type. Attribute name and type. A derived attribute. Here, derived attribute is one that can be computed from other attributes but does not actually exist. For example, a person's age can be computed from his birth date. So here, that derived attribute can be mentioned like this. Here, birth date is mandatory attribute, and the age is derived attribute by giving a dash or slash symbol, and the age, that is the attribute name, and attribute type, that is date. From the birth date, a derived attribute is designated by a preceding slash, as in like age colon date. And again, attributes can be four types, as one discussed previously, that is derived. Under three is public, protected and private. Here name is public, but the address and birth date is protected, and SSN might be private. And what is public, what is protected and what is private, you can understand from the object oriented language concepts. Operations means what are the operations associated with the persons. For every class of a person or for every object of a person, what are the operations that object is going to do. Operations describe the class behavior and appear in the third compartment. The operations for the person might be eat, sleep, work, on, play. So when drawing a class, you need not show attributes and operation in every diagram. Okay, so here like person is a class, or it might be like this one, or it might be like this one, or it might be like this one, or it might be like this one. So when drawing a class, you need not show attributes and operations in every diagram. Sometimes you can omit that thing also. A class may also include its responsibilities in a class diagram. A responsibility is a contract or obligation of a class to perform a particular service. So you can include responsibilities inside that class diagram, creating a second fourth compartment, and that is optional. You may also include its responsibilities in a class diagram. A responsibility is like a contract or obligation that a class will going to perform is going to perform for a particular service. Here suppose the class is smoke alarm, then responsibilities are associated with the smoke alarm class is sound alert and notify guard station when smoke is detected and indicate battery state of that smoke alarm. Like that, some responsibilities or obligation you might include in the responsibility section, which that is another compartment included in the class diagram, which is a fourth compartment. Along with the class diagram, there are some relationship need to be included. In UML, Unified Modeling Languages, object interconnections means there might be interconnections between different objects, which might be logical or which might be physical also, are modeled as relationship. Those interconnections between the objects are modeled as relationships. There are three kinds of relationships in UML: dependencies, generalizations, and associations. Here, a dependency indicates a semantic relationship between two or more elements. The dependency from course schedule to course exists because course is used in both the add and remove operation of course schedule. So here you can see in a course schedule that operations are add course or remove course. Here C course is, this is another class or another object, this is course. So that operation is dependent on this another element. So whenever one or two or more elements are connected or have the dependency between them, we might indicate the dependency using these dashed arrow lines. Here course schedule to course exists, dependency exists because course is used both in case of add and remove operations of that class of course schedule. That is why we need to provide that dependency arrow or dependency notations between two elements in the class diagram. Second relationship is about generalization. Generalization connects a subclass to its superclass. It denotes an inheritance, means suppose person 1 and one class, student is another class, and some properties or some operations of student might be inherited from persons. Some attributes or some operations might be inherited from persons. That is why person is the superclass and student is the subclass. So that subclass student is accessing the superclass person. It denotes an inheritance of attributes and behavior from the superclass to the subclass and indicates a specialization in the subclass of the more general superclass. So here student is using some specialized work, but using some properties or operations of persons inside the student also. That is why student class is inherited from person class. So we need to provide that generalization by putting this type of arrow and triangle shaped head symbol. Generalization relationship can be also, there may be multiple superclass. Here you can see UML permits a class to inherit. Here teaching assistant inherits its property or its operations or its attributes from two superclasses. Although some programming languages like Java do not permit multiple inheritance. So in some languages like Java does not permit this type of generalization or this type of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance. But in some cases like in C++, they provide that multiple inheritance concept. So you can give the generalization, or you can give that inheritance, or you can give the dependency by putting this symbol if there is a scenario of multiple inheritance. Association relationship. If two classes in a model need to communicate with each other, there must be link between them. That is association. In anyhow, suppose student class or instructor class connects or communicate messages among them to execute more operations in students, or to execute another operation in instructors. Somehow they pass the messages or attributes, something like that. Then those elements or those classes might be linked using this link line or link this symbol to denote the association. We can indicate the multiplicity of an association by adding multiplicity adornments to the line denoting the association. Here, one or more instructor means student is linked with one or more instructor. The example indicates that student has one or more instructor, means one student can communicate with one or more instructor, objects or element. Again, also we can give here also, like we can also indicate the behavior of an object in an association using role names. We can give the names of the roles, means students learns from one or more instructor. Again, instructor teaches one or more students. That is the role name. We can give that. We can also indicate the behavior of an object. Behavior of an objects can be named using the role names in that association relationship. We can also name that association. We can also name the association. Student membership. One or more student member of one or more team, or there are memberships for one or more team has one or more students. We can specify dual association also. Here we can give dual association. Student, one or more student is member of one or more team. Here again, one or more team has only one president, or we can say one student is president of one or more team, or like one or more team has member of one or more students. Association can also be objects themselves, called link classes or an association classes. Here product and warranty has an association link, and directly that association can be a class itself. So that is a association class. So association can also be object themselves, means that is a object or object of a class called link classes. So we can call it as a link classes or association classes. So this is an example where customer, but there are dependency also, that order is a super class. Okay, so one customer is linked with or association with more than one order. So customer, this is the customer name, is the class name, and the attributes here name and location, and the operations here the function send order or receive order. Again, here order is the class name, date of that order, number of that order is the attribute, confirm or close, those functions are the operations of that class. And again, special order, normal order, those are the subclass using this super class, and that is the generalization. Here you can see, and also same like the other classes also, we also need to put the attributes and operation inside that class of subclasses. This is another example. Here you can see student attributes are here and the operations are here. One student enrolled in one or more seminar enrollment, so that is the association. Okay, and the association name, and one seminar enrollment has one or more seminar enrollment has enrolled in one seminar, or here zero or more seminar on waiting list for zero or more ordered. That is this relationship is ordered and but FIFO, first in first out, that has been mentioned here. Again, student address, zero or more, zero or one student, zero means null, one means at least one, lives at only one address. Again, professor lives at zero, null, no professor, or one professor lives at this one, at least one address. And again, the professor can link with the same class, advisor and mentors. 0 or 1 advisor associates as a mentor. And again, here this is another association link. Professor can instruct the seminar, and again this is the course seminar offering of 0 or more seminar offering of one course, means course can offer one course can offer 0 seminar or more seminar. Like that, professor can instructs, or seminar can be instructed by professor, means 0 or more seminar can be instructed by 0 or 1 professor. That is the idea, means that is how that programming environment will work. This is how we can show the class diagram, how the classes or how the objects are associated with. So it very much important point here is that these three thing, that is what are the relationships we are having. Three kind of relationships: dependencies, generalizations and associations. Dependencies is like this and generalization is like this, where inheritance come into picture. Here also this is dependency among two elements, and again this is multiple inheritance, and this is association. In case of association, you need to mention the multiplicity of an association, and again you can give the same thing inside in case of student also, in case of instructor also. You can give the role name also, you can give the association name also, you can give the dual association also, you can give the class that rule that links, or that name of that links or that association can be created as a class also. So that's it about this class diagram. For more about class diagram, you need to go to the books, and also if you have any doubt also, please let me know. We'll try to resolve the doubts over Google Meet, or if you have anything to add linking with the class diagram, you can share with the other people. That's it. Thank you.